When we first arrived at St Torney's, we were faced with a very wet church. Various parts of the roof were leaking, there was lots of mould inside the building. The building had been shut basically for 18 months.
The tower had been leaking and the water had been coming down the outside of the tower, coming out through a joint and the water then running down over the window. The glass was in fair condition. The window guards on the outside, particularly I think on the south elevation, were in very poor condition.
Well, the church hadn't been used for a while, so it's suffering from damp. There was black staining down the outside of the tower, which is showing that water was tracking out of 1 or 2 points on the tower.
St Torney's is blessed with a really nice collection of monuments. They range from the 1600s and are in a wide variety of materials. Unfortunately, because of the moisture ingress in the building, they are suffering from decay.
It's a Grade 1 listed building and it has some absolutely beautiful details and pieces of individual art and stained glass windows, but as a whole it feels very dowdy at the moment. We've got some green staining, we've had some water ingress. It feels like it's been unloved for quite a long time.
Churches are vested with the Churches Conservation Trust when they are particularly ancient or beautiful or historically important. St Torney's has been vested in the CCT because there was quite a small congregation and it's a very large church, so they were finding the upkeep very difficult.
I'm currently the appointed architect to take care of this church for the CCT. In this case, we actually have quite a big campaign of repairs that we're carrying out as a first step as part of the vesting.
So as part of the vesting works, we're going to look at each monument individually and carry out some repair work where required. In some cases that will mean taking them down from the walls and putting them back up. In some cases we'll be removing inappropriate paint. In some cases we'll be doing mortar-based repair works.
We've started with works to the tower because this was the largest unknown. It's impossible to know what the tower structure is like, how many voids are in the masonry. They're incredibly thick walls and they're granite. And so we wanted to start by making sure that the tower masonry structure was as solid as possible.
As with most historic buildings, the main challenge was to get the water out of the building. So we're repairing roofs and grouting the tower walls and various other bits of repointing and masonry work just to try and keep it dry in here.
Always issues that come up whilst you're doing the work, and from the outset things always change. So we had a set or a programme of works and those have had to be tuned to the reality of what we found once we started the work.
The Churches Conservation Trust looks after just over 350 ancient, beautiful structures. These are community buildings, they're all Church of England churches, they're all consecrated, and they're all where the community has come together for their happiest times and their saddest times, and it sort of holds their emotions, and it's, they're just brilliant community buildings built by the community for the community.
Churches are used for all sorts of things in the community and everybody's welcome to use the church. It's a building that we want to be used and loved by communities. So people have used the churches for things as diverse as flower festivals and theatre performances, to coffee mornings, photo shoots, filming. We've even got a circus school in one of our churches in Bristol. There's all sorts of things.
I suppose in this church particularly, we've already come up against quite a lot of philosophical questions about what we're doing in the context of protecting the church for the much longer term future, when we anticipate that in the care of the Conservation Trust there won't be a huge fund for maintenance.
It's only the start, really. We'll do the building project, we'll fix the tower, we'll repoint the church, we'll fix the roofs, but then every 6 months, once we're off site, we'll send our maintenance contractors out.
Once the new vesting works have been completed, the church will go onto our kind of roster of current churches. It will get 2 maintenances a year by one of our appointed maintenance contractors, who will come late in the autumn and early summer. They will carry out 13 tasks, which cover things like clearing rainwater goods, so gutters and downpipes and drains, checking for missing slates or tiles, and just generally giving the church a bit of a tidy up.
Maintenance is the key to these buildings. Maintenance is resilience. With climate change and with the heavier downpours, we have to make sure that all the gutters and all the roofs are working properly so that this church can be sustainable and used by the community for the next 500 years.
We're trying to do as much as we possibly can to protect the fabric in the long term and present the treasures of the church in the most accessible and appealing way.
And we're hoping by carrying out this work that it means that it's got a really strong positive future for the community here, and that people can enjoy and love and use this building for many generations to come.